Righto, Teliodo champs, and I gotta say, these things here, wow, you will not believe the price of these. I saw these laptops for less than 1,000 US. Yeah, nah, I mean, that's a bargain these days. I mean, inflation's crazy and gaming prices, like, you know, computer hardware is just out of control. And I don't even know how you can afford to game these days. But now you can with this thing. I'll leave a link in the description to the latest prices for these laptops. And the reality is these laptops here will play any game you want, any AAA title, you know, at least 60 frames per second. You might have to mess with the settings here and there, but at least 60 frames per second, and less demanding titles over 120 frames per second, no problem. So if you want to get in on PC gaming, and who doesn't, because PC master race, right? This is where I'd start looking. These are the Gigabyte G5s. It might sound familiar, right? There's a G sort of laptop from Dell, isn't there too? But these things are actually cheaper, and Gigabyte are very smart. They pick out the eyes of what exactly a gamer wants and needs. Now, of course, at this price point, there are compromises, there are. But you still get your core 1080p gaming experience. And I'll tell you a little story. My son had his birthday party over the weekend. Some of his cousins stayed over for a few days. There are other kids here, and of course, they're all gaming, right? Actually, one of the surprising things is they're into VR. They're into this Meta VR thing, Gorilla Tag or something. I thought VR was dead, but apparently not. But anyway, of course, there's not enough gaming devices to go around. One of the kids was out the back playing on my PC. He's playing a bit of Fortnite, a bit of Overwatch, and then he was playing some car games. And all the other kids wanted to play, of course. But luckily for me, I had these two gaming laptops here. They're both G5 gaming laptops, 15-inch, 16:9 displays, 144 Hz, perfect for gaming. Is it the best display in the world? No. But who cares at this price? And they loved it. They loved it. I game on it, no issues with this display. I mean, at this price point, not too long ago, you would have a 60Hz display. At least this is 144 Hz. So anyway, these kids were playing on these gaming laptops. Sorry, Gigabyte, if you're watching. They didn't kill it. They're still alive. But they thoroughly enjoyed the gaming experience on this, and they all wanted to play these laptops. None of them wanted to go out the back to my gaming PC. For some reason, they just like to sit around and watch each other and just sit in their group. And yeah, that's where a laptop rules, right? Over a desktop. And I did do the switcheroo. Both of these laptops have different sort of specs. I'll get into that. And they couldn't tell the difference, okay, in terms of gaming performance on both of them. They, you know, to them, it was exactly the same, no difference. And that's the thing, right? There are two here, obviously. Both of them have an i5, so the 12500 i5. You can also get an i7 12650. You can also get 13th gen CPUs. So an i5 and an i7 13th gen as well. And that's the same deal here. They're i5s 12th gen. Not much difference in those CPUs, so don't spend more on 13th gen, I would say, unless that was the only choice. One of these laptops comes with an RTX 4060 and one comes with a 4050. They are both up to 75 watts on the GPU. The 4050 has 6 gigabytes, the 4060 has 8 gigabytes. Now, which one should you get out of these? I doubt if you don't tell anyone they're going to notice the difference, but the big difference is the extra 2 gigabytes of memory you get with the 4060. I don't think that matters too much for 1080p. There may be some games, but mostly 6 gigabytes on the 4050 is enough for 1080p gaming. But the difference between the two is easy to sum up. Just say your target was 60 frames per second, whatever game you're playing, right? The 4060 will do it at high settings. The 4050 will do it at medium settings. That is the difference. And if they're at the same settings, it's really going to depend on the game. So you might get up to sort of 10 frames difference there. So it's whatever, 10 frames per second faster, or, you know, the difference is really one you'll be able to play high settings at your target FPS and one you'll play at medium. That's the difference. So in reality, unless you get a really good deal on the 4060, I reckon the 4050 is the go. Unless you can really tell the difference between, you know, medium and high settings, you know, on a small sort of 15-inch display. Can you tell the difference? Well, if you can, go for it. And a lot of people say future-proof 4060. I think for the lifetime of these laptops, it's always going to be the same, right? One will play high settings and one will play medium settings at the same sort of FPS. So that's not going to change too much. But hey, if the 4060 is close enough to the 4050, why not? Go get the 4060. And you're probably going to have to get an i7 to get a 4060, aren't you? Although with this one here, it's really good. I actually got an i5 with a 4060. So save a bit of money there. The i7 gaming wise really won't be worth it. It is a 150 watt package. So that's the size of the power brick. And they can maintain around 80 sort of watts, even up to 90 sort of watts. CPU and GPU, they're both pretty much the same there. Less than 50 decibels fan noise, so that's really good. Temperature's really good. You won't see them over 80. And the thing is, with such a small sort of, 150 watts or just pumping out 80 watts, together for CPU and GPU, you're not going to overheat these things. And 50 decibels, under 50 decibels is awesome. I like that. You can upgrade the RAM in these things. So you have 2 RAM slots. You can upgrade the SSDs. 2 SSD slots, awesome. And one of them actually is PCI Express 4. So happy days there. Comes with Wi-Fi 6E. It's about 2 kilos or 4.5 pounds. USB Type A's, USB Type C's, no Thunderbolt. I didn't expect it at this price point. You get Ethernet, mini SD card reader, and USB-C's if I didn't mention that, HDMI out, and DisplayPort out as well. So DisplayPort 1.4. That is a bonus. That's really good. Now, the keyboard, not the best keyboard in the world. It's got a bit of flex in it, but it does the job. The trackpad, serviceable, no problems there. The speakers, yeah, they're not going to blow you away, but, if you're going to watch a movie, you'll get it done as well. Battery life, well, this is really surprising. 52 watt hour battery, 1080p display. I think more typical, you're going to get your 5.5 sort of hours. It's not an all day battery life sort of, gaming laptop. But in terms of gaming laptops, because it doesn't have, that, 4K display or 1440p display at 60 hertz, getting, 5 hours battery life. Wow. I really did not expect that. So at the end of the day, this is a good gaming laptop for what you would expect to pay at this price point, what you get. Gigabyte are really smart for what they give you. Within the price point, you can't complain. What are my complaints? There's a bit of flex in the keyboard. Battery life is, I can't really complain about that actually. It's pretty decent for what it is. And then the other gripes, it comes at the price point, right? No Thunderbolt. All right, that's the price point. That's exactly what I'd expect it to do. Now that these kids are all PC gamers, they want a game on the PC now. Hopefully welcome. And the parents asked me, what should I get? I said this, because actually some of them have gone on holidays and they're going to take their Switch or whatever. But I said, this is what you want. For the price you pay, you're not going to get anything better at this sort of price point. So unless you want to spend a whole heap more, well, then we can talk, more powerful gaming laptops. But, at this sort of price point, perfect, absolutely perfect. And you get the full-blown PC gaming experience. So, yeah, rock on. Well done, Gigabyte, for this one. Catch you in the next one. Tally ho.